Hey guys, it's Forsaken Reality here with the 40th episode of the multiplayer RPG tutorial series. In this episode, we're going to be setting up our unequipped for our shield. So basically, when we have our items equipped, we'll be able to put our shield on our back with our sword and pull it back off again. And if you notice, I have a little bit of a weather system in here. I got somebody in my Discord mentioned that there was a free weather asset on the marketplace, so I decided to do some testing on it. It's basically just download the plugin, turn the plugin on, and slap the blueprint into the world, weather system blueprint into the world, and everything just works from there. But there'll be some changes to obviously within the material. I'm planning on setting up a nice landscape material that I'll have affected by this weather. So, but that'll be in a future video, not too far, but very soon, I would assume. So without further ado, we'll get into setting up our shield unequipped for now. First thing I'm going to do is move my test project over out of the way here. And we're going to want to go into our blueprints and our components and our combat component. And the first thing we're going to do here is change the equip shield to update shield. And in here, we're going to drag out we're going to create a branch, because instead of just equipping the shield, we'll also be wanting to unequip, and so to determine that we'll be using this boolean. So we'll run the in through here. So if we aren't equipped, we will run through this and we'll set the shield equipped, and then we were to run through this again, copy everything and paste it above. It's basically going to do the same thing, but just with some slight changes. And I'm just going to drag this down so it's in line with the true and false. And the first thing, I'm just going to tick this off because we're going to be setting our shield to not equipped, which means it's on our back. So what we're going to be doing here, we're going to be attaching it to our back socket. So you want to go to your back socket and plug that in. Back socket rotation for L. And your back location L. So that's setting our shield in our back socket. We are also going to want to go into our meshes and skeletal meshes for our character. And if you don't have a back socket set up for your L, then we're going to want to set that up. I noticed I only have the back socket R. Spino 3, add socket. Back socket L. And I'm just going to add a preview mesh so I can see where it is going to be. I'm just going to use my shield here, but you can set the rotation, location, and everything like that within the data table, like the weapons as well. So you don't need to worry about that. All the sockets are able to be set within the data table. So I'm setting a default location right now, just for the one that I have. If you have any other shields, you could probably set a default location to your shield set. I'm assuming that if you have multiple shields in the pack, they would all be set to the same location. So you shouldn't have to continuously do this unless you have weapons at different default locations. So that's good enough for me. Our shield's in the middle of our back. Maybe drop it down a little. And that's our back socket. So now we're going to want to go into our blueprints, data, and our data tables. And for any shield you create, you're going to want to set up your sockets. So your weapons, the offhand socket, and the back socket L, which is back socket underscore L. And we have our update function done. We want to go to our equipped weapon, I believe. Create a branch and shield equipped. And if our shield is already equipped, we'll just run through the code normally and equip our weapon. But if the shield is not equipped, we will run through the update code, and then we'll continue on through the weapon code as well. So we'll equip our weapon and our shield. I'm going to double click this line right here. I'll create a pin there so I can make it a little more organized. Oops. And I'm also going to put a is valid, so that in case we run through here and we don't have a shield reference at all, then we'll just return and won't end up running through any more of the code. These comments will help make it make a little more sense. And unequip. So we have our equipped weapons set up, I believe. Yep. We want to go to our unequip. And in our unequipped, we want to do a similar thing. We're going to check if our shield's equipped. And if it is equipped, we're going to update so that it will unequip the shield. And if it's not, then we'll just normally run through this code. There we go. Hopefully that makes a little sense right there with the comment. So we'll skip it basically if there is no shield in our hand. And I'm just going to double check everything. Just gonna do some testing, but I believe that we have our shield equipping and unequipping. Yep. So there we go. We have our shield, so we can put it on our back. And we can equip it after. One more quick thing I'm going to do in this episode is we're going to go to our blueprints character and BP master character. Find references to holdable reference. And I believe it looks like we already got rid of most of them, so I'm just going to delete that. So we can delete that holdable reference. I'm going to, this is a useful one in case you don't know if there's a reference still existing. Maybe I called that in my animation blueprint or another blueprint. In the past, I don't know. Well, I do know that I didn't, but for example, you could open up the finding blueprints and holdable ref, and it will open up every instance of holdable ref. But like we noticed that these ones are just setting our local holdable ref, which is just for our picked up item, so it's not really needed, and this is just a comment, so it's not actually setting anything there. We have our weapon ref set there, so that's a useful one if you need to find something in blueprints and you just don't know, or you're using someone else's code and you need to find like your sprint everywhere that handles the sprint, so you check there. But it's a run bool, so you check the run bool, so now you get your running and see how it displays here, so you can basically browse and see everywhere everything's being set. It's a quick and easy way to search your blueprints and stuff, and I think you can only search it while you're inside of a blueprint, but it's definitely a useful one. That's going to be everything for this episode. I deleted that. Yep. Okay. If you found this video helpful and want to see more, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new uploads in the future. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, feel free to leave those in the comment section below or join my Discord server community using the link in the description. Thanks, and I'll see you all in the next episode.